What up, everybody? Raising Kanan Season 3, as Jukebox gets closer to wrapping up her senior year of high school and graduating, she is beginning to look at what is next for her. And after Burke was killed, she went and applied for the Army, hoping to get out of Queens. But the same day when Juke first went to talk to the Army recruiter, when she got home, Marvin was waiting with Mr. Bingham, Nicole's dad, who had got some information about girl group auditions and wanted to let Juke know about the opportunity. So Juke went in audition for the group and got selected to be a part of a group called Butta. But at the same time, she continued to move forward with joining the military, as she took both the physical and the written test that you have to pass. I'm guessing she's keeping the door to the military open in case the girl group doesn't work out. But I want to pause for a minute and say I've been told that the group Butta is loosely based on the group TLC. Either though TLC was based out of Atlanta and Butta is based out of New York, but I can definitely see it. Crystal being T-Boss, Aisha, Chili, and Jukebox being Left Eye. And of course the group manager representing Pebbles. Getting us to episode 6, and Butta was auditioning for some labels or something like that. And Marvin was there watching. And he told the people that he don't know what they need to think about. And also that his daughter ought to be in the lead. This caused Jukebox to tell Marvin to leave. And after, Crystal walked up to Jukebox and let her know that her daddy was a damn fool. And Jukebox replied to Crystal was to not ever talk about her family again. And Crystal said she talks about whoever she wants to. It was also around this time when Jukebox manager said she was waiting for someone to step up front and take the lead. So when Jukebox got home, she told Marvin that he might not have been wrong and that she has a chance to become the lead of the group. But it was also at this time when Jukebox was opening up her mail and found out that she passed all the tests to join the Army and that she had been approved. But when Marvin came into the room, she made sure to hide all the paperwork. So we got to believe that before Juke goes to the Army, if in fact she ends up joining the military, that Marvin will find those papers like he found the tape of Juke and Nicole. And there's a chance that Marvin and Juke will have another fallout because of this. But Marvin has changed enough, I doubt he lays hands on Jukebox this time. Getting us to episode 7. And after the group was done with rehearsal for the day, Kanan came to pick up Aisha to take her out to the movies. And bumped into none other than Crystal while Aisha and Jukebox were in the bathroom. And immediately started flirting with Crystal. And let me pause again before I move on. And let me go back to the bathroom scene because Aisha was in the stall vomiting. And a lot of people started assuming Aisha is pregnant because she was vomiting. But this is not a pregnancy, but a sign of an eating disorder. Keep in mind at the auditions that Aisha was also vomiting there before she ever even met Kanan. And that's why she told Juke that she was working on it when they were talking at the sink in episode 7. As far as Sean's mother, it is neither Aisha or Crystal, but it will be a girl named Jarita, who we were also introduced to in Power Season. Kanan had a duffel bag of money stashed away at her house the whole time he was locked up, and he also said that Jarita had always been loyal to him. And since Sean was around 20 in 2014, we are getting close to the time of Kanan meeting Jarita, but not quite yet. Getting me back to episode 7, where Kanan takes Aisha to a movie called Bugsy. Kanan was doing what any young player would do at the movie. And sometimes you get a Crystal who's about it, and sometimes you get an Aisha who's not. And Aisha wasn't about what Kanan was trying to get into and told Kanan she wanted to go home. But Kanan told Aisha straight up that he was staying and watching the movie. A lot of people felt like Kanan was wrong for not taking Aisha home, but she could have stayed and set a seat away from him to make sure he didn't try anything else. Because Kanan did pay for the tickets and probably did actually want to watch the movie. So he wasn't going to leave the movie early just to take Aisha home. I completely understood that. So Aisha left and Kanan stayed to watch the movie. And I was told that the scene that was going on at the time at the movies was Bugsy making a thief get on his knees and make animal noises for stealing. Possibly foreshadowing what was going to happen with the group Butta, Jukebox, Aisha, and Crystal. Keep in mind that after Kanan and Aisha had left the rehearsal, Jukebox and Crystal were alone together. And Juke had already peeped the chemistry between Crystal and Kanan. And Juke told Crystal to stay away from her cousin because he is with Aisha. And again, for the second time, Crystal got slick at the mouth with Jukebox, and her reply to Jukebox was F you. She also insulted Aisha at this time, calling her puke box, which Jukebox didn't appreciate because she likes Aisha. So after Kanan got home from the movies, most likely the next day, Jukebox went looking for Kanan to confront him about what went down between him and Aisha at the movies. Notice when Jukebox saw the two security guards in the hallway, Juke just smiled and then tried walking right past them like they weren't even there. That girl is just different, I tell you. But at the end of the episode, Crystal contacted Kanan to come over to her place and gave Kanan what Aisha wanted. And in the process, she stole Aisha's man and setting up the scene that was foreshadowed at the movie theater earlier in the episode. Also keep in mind that Crystal contacted Kanan. So that definitely means either though we didn't see it, Kanan slipped Crystal his number real quick while Jukebox and Aisha were in the bathroom. The episode 8 trailer shows a clip of Jukebox and Aisha with Jukebox fighting another girl. And I'm also assuming, either though they didn't show her face, that she's fighting Crystal about hooking up with Kanan and stealing Aisha's boyfriend. And we got to believe that Juke is going to do Crystal something dirty. We know that Juke is scrappy and doesn't even back down to grown men. So I can't even begin to imagine how bad she's going to beat the brakes off of Crystal. And it looks like they're at a train station also. So I really hope that Jukebox doesn't push Crystal out in front of a train and kill her. Keeping in mind that Jukebox eventually becomes a cop, so her record is going to have to be clean. This is likely where the military will also step in. After Jukebox has her fight with Crystal, she will at the very least get kicked out of Butta and possibly even get arrested and charged with a crime because of it. Then if that is the case, she'd be put in a similar situation as Mecca was, since Juke is technically a first offender. Since Burke already got her out of 2 charges in season 1 and 2, she'll be offered an opportunity to go to the military and get all her charges dropped. Believe it or not, I almost went to the military in the same type of thing when I was 18. 2 months out of high school, I already caught 2 charges. So I talked to my boy who got charges dropped by signing up for the military, only to catch another charge right before he was supposed to go and not be able to go. So I tried the same thing, and the recruit showed up to court and got my charges dropped. But when it was time for me to take my physical or whatever, I couldn't pass the drug test. So the recruiter went to GNC and bought me a drink, and I still failed. And old boy was furious and asked me how often I smoke weed, and I told him every day. So at that point, he said he'd call me back in a month, and I never again answered his call and continued on my career path as a drug dealer. Then if Crystal survives and Butta replaces Jukebox and goes on to become highly successful like TLC in real life, this will just be another regret that Jukebox has and a potential key factor in how she became the way she was in OG Power. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.